I'm Dr. Melissa Johnson, CEO of the Institute for Girls Development and Flourish Therapy and Wellness Center, a clinical psychologist, and I am heading over to talk with Dr. Ashley Reed, our clinical director of early childhood and maternal mental health. So let's go.
I was actually just getting ready to clean out my kitchen. Is it okay if I do that while we talk?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm really glad we're getting to talk today about our upcoming presentation and about the work that we do, chronic pain, supporting families with medical conditions and procedural pain. Share a little bit about your why. What inspires you?
My why started when I was working at a children's hospital. During that time, I really fell in love with supporting kids who have medical conditions. There was so much opportunity to make a difference in the child's life. When you're supporting a child who has chronic illness, you're really supporting a system, actually multiple systems. You're supporting a family system, medical system, school system. There are so many opportunities to be of support. Working with systems is really how we make the biggest impact for children.
We know dealing with medical conditions, chronic pain, can contribute to mental health concerns. What is it that you like to share with professionals and with parents about that?
For children who are experiencing chronic medical conditions, like pain, certainly we see that their mental health is affected. Another thing that I like to offer to providers is a better understanding of what's happening in the child's mind. It's also really important to understand how relationships in the family system are impacted by a child's illness. Not only may a child experience anxiety, hypervigilance, even depression because of their medical experiences can also impact their relationships with the people who they're closest with, especially with their parents and their siblings. A medical experience can be a catalyst for these mental health concerns that we're seeing. Sometimes impaired relationships between the child and a family system reinforce those mental health concerns too.
We know that small things can make a really big difference for children and for families. What are 2 or 3 things that you find it valuable to share?
You actually wouldn't believe how many young children I work with who have chronic illness, who have absolutely no idea what's happening in their body. Developing a narrative for what is happening to the child in a way that's developmentally appropriate is the number one thing that I'm always recommending. My second tip would be helping a family prepare for medical intervention. Because children have such big reactions to medical procedures, parents make a decision not to tell the child beforehand because they don't want to cause stress and anxiety. However, sometimes the day of a medical appointment, children are very much caught off guard by the fact that they have to go to the doctor's office. This is also something that can interfere with the parent-child relationship and also can end up causing more anxiety for the child in the long run. The third tip that I have is just to try to find those opportunities for children where they can have a sense of control. We find ways for them to have just a little teeny piece of control in their experience. It can make a big difference.
I know that we're both really committed to a developmental approach. Why is that important to you in the work you do?
In order to best support a child and their family in navigating medical experiences, it's so important to know how a child perceives the world because it helps us understand how they're making meaning and making sense of their experiences. When we understand their perception, their fears and resulting behavior makes so much more sense. Additionally, we have to have a really good understanding of development if we want to be effective in the interventions that we're providing. If we don't consider the age and stage of development, then we actually might place too much responsibility on the child and not take a more comprehensive approach that includes the family system or the medical system. And that's something that in this upcoming training, we'll be talking a lot about kids at different developmental ages and how they perceive what's going on around them and what's going on inside of them. We'll also talk about age-appropriate interventions and ways to support a child based on their age and stage of development. I'm really looking forward to this upcoming training. I'm so excited to talk more with providers about these concrete tools and strategies we can use to support children of different ages and about how to support the systems that they're involved in. Thanks for coming. I'm going to continue cleaning out my kitchen, and I hope that you have a good day.